In the annals of ancient science, Egyptian contributions to astrology occupy a distinguished place within the broader history of astronomical inquiry. This narrative explores a sophisticated interplay of observation, symbolism, and calendrical precision that characterizes the Egyptian approach. Unlike earlier systems predominantly centered on the prediction of regal fortunes through capricious omens, Egyptian astrology evolved into a meticulous discipline integrating rigorous observations of celestial bodies with a profound spiritual symbolism. As a learned observer, I trace how these ancient scholars employed both empirical methods and esoteric insights to create an astrological system that resonated with the dynamics of daily life, particularly within a society whose fate was intricately linked to the annual rhythms of the Nile. Viewed through the lens of modern scholarship, the Egyptian model offers a remarkable example of practical astronomy fused with metaphysical inquiry, where every celestial phenomenon was imbued with symbolic meaning and practical application. The cultural and environmental imperatives that shape this tradition are also evident. The cyclical flooding of the Nile demanded precise calendrical systems, while the complex pantheon of deities encouraged a universe perceived as inherently ordered and balanced. In this narrative journey, I shall articulate both the technical framework and the symbolic lexicon of Egyptian astrology, underscoring its dual focus on material well-being and cosmic harmony. With an emphasis on detailed technical analysis and advanced methodologies, this discussion elucidates the numerous layers through which Egyptians harmonized empirical observation with spiritual doctrine. The legacy of Egyptian astrology, therefore, is not merely a relic of the past, but an enduring contribution to the sophisticated synthesis of science and belief, a synthesis that continues to inform modern astrological thought and practice. Throughout the evolution of astrological traditions, the Egyptian framework stands out for its methodical integration of celestial phenomena with the practical demands of civilization. Historically, this discipline was built upon the initial innovations of Babylonian astrology, yet it diverged substantially by focusing on a broader, culturally embedded perspective. In ancient Egypt, the interpretative process was deeply tied to the observance of seasonal changes, particularly governed by the annual inundation of the Nile, which necessitated an accurate calendrical system. Rigorous observations led to the development of astronomical techniques that were advanced for their time, incorporating precise measurements of star positions and the tracking of planetary motions. The Egyptian priesthood, endowed with vast astronomical knowledge, continuously refined these methods, ensuring that celestial events were accurately recorded and their implications understood within both religious rituals and agricultural practices. This scientific rigor was combined with a symbolic lexicon derived from a rich pantheon of gods and mythological narratives. By blending empirical observation with practical applications, such as predicting the flooding and its consequent impact on crop cycles, Egyptian astrologers not only facilitated administrative planning, but also imbued celestial events with a moral and spiritual significance. Through this dual lens, one discerns a civilization that respected the orderly progression of nature and regarded the cosmos as a reservoir of wisdom and divine intervention. The historical narrative thus underscores that Egyptian astrology was not an isolated enterprise. It was a living tradition, deeply interwoven with the cultural, environmental, and religious fabric of the land, setting the stage for later astrological developments in neighboring civilizations. A cornerstone of Egyptian astrological methodology is found in the decan system, a sophisticated means of dividing and understanding the celestial sphere. The decans, a set of 36 star groups observed along the horizon, were not merely arbitrary subdivisions. They served as the foundational markers for delineating a 10-day period. This partitioning was achieved by careful seasonal observation, a practice that demanded both mathematical precision and an intimate familiarity with the night sky. It was the heliacal rising of brilliant stars, particularly the star Sirius, that signified the onset of the Nile's inundation. The remarkable accuracy with which ancient Egyptian astronomers pinpointed these heliacal risings underscores a profound mastery of both observational astronomy and timekeeping. By correlating the gradual shifting positions of decans with the cyclic behavior of the Nile, these scholars could forecast both the impacts of environmental change and the periodic renewal of the land's fertility. In elaborating this system, I illustrate how each decan was associated with specific deific attributes and mythic symbolism. For instance, as the decans marched in their systematic progression, they formed an intricate tapestry of celestial order that mirrored the terrestrial cycles fundamental to Egyptian life. This rigorous structure enabled Egyptian priests to design a calendrical schema that was remarkably resilient, integrating both solar and star-based elements. Moreover, the decan system provided technical data sets that were later synthesized with solar observations, thereby enriching the astrological tradition with numerical and geometric analysis. The methodology behind tracking these decans reveals advanced approaches to data recording and analysis that would be recognized today as a precursor to modern astronomical techniques. The decan system, through its dual application for both pragmatic calendrical adjustments and symbolic ritual observances, illustrates the Egyptians' commitment to harmonizing empirical data with the metaphysical order of the cosmos. This duality of precision and poetry exemplifies a cultural legacy where scientific rigor was neither divorced from nor subordinate to spiritual meaning, but where every star group was a vibrant participant in the grand cosmic cycle that sustained life along the fertile banks of the Nile. An integral component of the Egyptian astrological tradition is the meticulous observation of the solar and lunar cycles, an endeavor that underpinned the refinement of their civil calendar. Ancient Egyptian astronomers employed methodical techniques to document the progression of celestial bodies, thereby ensuring that the passage of time was both predictable and harmoniously synchronized with natural events. The solar cycle, with its daily and yearly patterns, was meticulously correlated with the agricultural calendar, while the lunar phases offered additional temporal markers that enhanced both ceremonial precision and societal organization. The narrative of this tradition is one of disciplined study and technical innovation. By registering the subtle variations in the rising and setting of key stars alongside the observable motions of the sun and moon, these scholars crafted a chronometric system that offered both predictability and adaptability. Their observations were detailed and systematic, involving an array of mathematical computations and geometric analyses that are impressive even by contemporary scientific standards. Every solar eclipse, every lunar transit, was not simply an astronomical event, but a datum point for recalibrating ritual timings and civic operations. This analytical framework was integral to the Egyptians' pursuit of Ma'at, a concept representing cosmic balance and order. Thus, the solar and lunar cycles were far more than mere astronomical phenomena. They were essential components of a comprehensive system that linked timekeeping with religious duty and national governance. The integration of solar and lunar observations into a cohesive calendrical structure provides a vivid illustration of advanced scientific practices in antiquity, marking a period when empirical precision met the imperatives of ritual and statecraft. The Egyptian zodiac, a system both highly symbolic and remarkably intricate, represents a fusion of empirical astronomy with the nuanced interpretive layers of mythology and religious symbolism. Within this complex framework, celestial signs were not only markers of temporal progression, but also carriers of deep moral and spiritual significance. Advanced astronomical techniques allowed Egyptian scholars to identify precise constellations, which they then imbued with symbolic attributes reflective of their pantheon of gods and mythical narratives. For example, the lion, emblematic of strength and protection, was not simply an animal sign but a representation of underlying cosmic forces, a guardian spirit that paralleled the deific power exemplified by gods such as Sekhmet. Similarly, the ibis, often interwoven with the wisdom of Thoth, served as an aphorism for insight and intellectual query. In this sophisticated astrological matrix, each sign was systematically aligned with both a temporal segment of the calendar and a set of mythological motifs. The Egyptians applied rigorous mathematical and geometric principles to delineate the boundaries and relationships between these signs, ensuring that each was accurately placed within the broader celestial schema. This process involved not only observational precision, but also a deep engagement with ritualistic symbolism. Every constellation served as a veritable compendium of divine attributes and cosmic order. Furthermore, the Egyptian zodiac functioned as a bridge between scientific inquiry and ethical instruction, offering insights into personality traits, spiritual destinies, and even governmental legitimacy. As the narrative unfolds, one discerns that these symbolic images provided a moral framework, whereby the arrangement and movement of celestial bodies were seen as reflections of cosmic justice and balance. The technical rigor with which the Egyptians constructed their astrological charts is evident in the precise correlations drawn between celestial cycles and the cyclical nature of agricultural and religious rites. Thus, the zodiac was not merely a static diagram, but a dynamic system in which every celestial body played a role in narrating the eternal tale of divine order and human destiny, forming a legacy that has influenced astrological thought through the centuries. The interaction between Egyptian and Hellenistic astrological practices marks a pivotal moment in the formation of Western astrological thought. During the Ptolemaic period, when Greek intellectuals found themselves immersed in Egypt's long-standing traditions, there occurred an intense and methodical exchange of astronomical knowledge. In this period of cultural synthesis, Egyptian methods, rooted in the systematic use of decans, the careful observation of solar-lunar cycles, and the symbolic deployment of mythological archetypes, were critically absorbed by Greek scholars. Their emphasis on precision and empirical methodology resonated with the evolving Greek penchant for geometry and mathematical rigor. Detailed technical analyses, which had long been a hallmark of Egyptian scholarly endeavors, were refined by Greek practitioners who integrated them into the broader framework of horoscopic astrology. In this transformative epoch, the confluence of Egyptian observational techniques and Babylonian omen-based interpretations catalyzed the development of a sophisticated astrological toolset. Greek scholars meticulously adapted the decan divisions, leveraging them as a basis for constructing detailed birth charts that articulated nuanced predictions about personal destiny. This cultural amalgamation, documented through rigorous investigation and scholarly discourse, highlights a period in which technical proficiency and symbolic depth were seamlessly intertwined. The narrative of this exchange is characterized by an appreciation for methodical detail. It is a testament to the enduring value of precision, systematic analysis, and the capacity for intellectual adaptation. As I unravel these historical threads, it becomes clear that Egyptian astrological innovations provided an essential scaffold on which classical Western astrological traditions were eventually built, establishing a legacy defined by its exacting methodology and profound symbolic insight. At the heart of Egyptian astrology lies a dual commitment to both empirical observation and spiritual interpretation. On one hand, ancient Egyptian astronomers adhered to a rigorous, data-driven methodology that involved careful documentation of planetary and stellar positions, precise timing of heliacal risings, and the application of geometric principles to map the heavens. This scientific tradition ensured the creation of accurate, reproducible datasets that could be used for calendrical adjustments and predictive calculations. On the other hand, the Egyptians seamlessly integrated these observations within a rich tapestry of mythological symbolism and ethical instruction. Each celestial event was interpreted as an affirmation of Ma'at, the divine order that governed both the cosmos and human society. In this dual pursuit, practical measurements coexisted with the metaphysical. Every numerical datum was underscored by its symbolic resonance and potential to convey moral and spiritual insights. This holistic approach enabled astrology in ancient Egypt to serve as a comprehensive system where material phenomena were analyzed with precision and at the same time elevated into a narrative of cosmic justice and purpose. Through this balanced integration of science and mysticism, Egyptian astrology provided not only predictive capabilities, but also a profound framework for understanding the universe as an ordered reflection of divine principles. In concluding this exploration, I reflect upon the enduring legacy of Egyptian astrology, a discipline where the convergence of empirical data and divine symbolism forged a comprehensive cosmological system. tracing the evolution from the Decan system through precise solar and lunar observations and the intricate blending of mythological elements into the zodiac. One discerns a remarkable sophistication that was as technically advanced as it was philosophically nuanced. This narrative has illuminated how Egyptian scholars, through their patient and exacting observations, were able to construct a celestial framework that resonated with the practical rhythms of the Nile and the broader cycles of nature. The Egyptian system was not limited to mere predictions. It served as a vital bridge between material governance and spiritual regulation, ensuring that each act of observation was imbued with ethical and cosmic significance. As this tradition intersected with Hellenistic and later astrological paradigms, its emphasis on precision and order provided the foundational blueprint that continues to influence contemporary interpretations of the heavens. In a legacy that spans millennia, the methodologies of the Egyptians persist as a testament to human ingenuity, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge, when aligned with an appreciation for the underlying order of the universe, can yield insights that transcend time. This synthesis of numeric rigor with esoteric wisdom stands as a lasting tribute to a civilization that, in its quest for understanding, enshrined the stars as eternal markers of both destiny and divine order.